about that right there, man? Good morning to the grind. Good morning to the work. Good morning to a new day, man. He gave us another day, another chance, another opportunity to put the mindset on. We get to. Let's start from right there. My name is KeJohnna Owens. This is the Morning Grind Grindology101 Podcast. And like every day, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, God say so willing, I get to present some encouraging, motivating, empowering content to get the day started. Guess what? Today we're going to be talking about progress is a process. Man, let me tell you, you think you're going just like that. Man, I signed up. Man, I joined the school and I'm going to get the degree. Man, it's a work, right? But a lot of times what we don't do is recognize and reference the process. So you think you're going to join the team and, whatever it is, achieve the highest levels right off the top. You king got a goo-goo. I love that. Think, king got a goo-goo, the best of the best of the best. But then you face some adversity. These guys are a little bit better than you. These girls are a little bit better than you. They're a little bit faster. Something's a little bit different. It's just not working right. Man, tires flat. Stuff happens, right? But there's a process along your progress. And when you look back a little bit, you say, wait a minute, I applied some work and man, I made the team. I'm on a team. I may not be where I want to be at the point, but I'm on a team. I'm in the room. I'm in the arena. I'm in the game. And that's a part of it. And if we don't commend ourselves at some point to say, you know what? I'm in the process and embrace the process, it's a lot harder to go towards that progress. But this morning I get a chance to learn, glean, and share this platform with an amazing young man, a gentleman I've come to know as another grindologist, if you will, committed to helping people, focused on making a difference, embedded in the community. He's definitely ahead of the game and in the process of the progress that we look forward to. And he's in internet technology. I call him the disseminator. My main man, my friend, my brother, Mr. Kelton, Boss I Quit Alexander. We're going to connect some of those dots to success. Stand by. There you are, right there, dropped in on us. Oh man, you got the magic book of progress right there. That's a process. Good morning, sir, Mr. Kelton. Boss I Quit Alexander. How you doing out there, man?
KeJohnna, good morning. I'm assuming you can hear me.
I hear you. Well, I see you reading. I see you got major respect. Everything else, man. Tell us about it, man.
Well, good morning, man. My right hand man, KeJohnna. Speaker, entrepreneur, overcomer. I'm just looking at my 7 keys to success because I'm realizing that this is a guidebook for me now. You know what I mean?
When I appreciate that, sir. When I even went through the process of writing that book,
right?
Man, I was gonna make it all complicated, multiple chapters, really detail oriented, but I have been taking so long to get it out.
Wow.
To get what I felt out. And when I read what I was writing, if you will, the first key was start now. The second key, use what you have.
Yes.
And I was trying to create something I didn't have. And what I did was I just embraced the process. And we went on through it, and that's a work that I believe is gonna make a difference, man. I appreciate that, sir. What's going out there with you, man? What's the word with Boss I Quit today?
Well, process. There are 21 irrefutable laws of leadership written by the #1 leadership expert in the world, Dr. John Maxwell. And one of those laws is the law of process. And as I go through the 7 keys to success here, written by Mr. KeJohnna Owens, you can get this book, I'm assuming, on Amazon. KeJohnna, you can get this book probably from the website. But, you talk about complete what you start. Complete what you start. And that's all about process. And it says here, one of the best ways of completing tasks is to have them written down and know which order the completion must take place. Most of us don't write down what we want to achieve. And I don't know if you've bought anything lately, but usually if you buy anything substantial, there's a method of operations to how the manufacturer made that thing. And the manufacturer made that thing through a process. And then the manufacturer usually shows us how to take advantage of the process through what? Instruction manual. Am I right about that?
That's right. They're nowadays, it's just some pictures nowadays. But yeah, they give you some kind of instruction.
And you said here, when you have written goals, tasks, dreams, or resolutions, man, that's resolve. That means I will NMH, no matter what. You resolve, you have a much better chance of completing them. And so, process, there's phases to process according to the law of process. The first phase is I don't know what I don't know.
I don't know what I don't know.
I don't know
yes, sir.
What I don't know. That's phase 1. And then phase 2 is I know that I need to know. I know that I need to know now. And then the third phase is I know what I don't know. And then the fourth phase is I know and grow, and it starts to show. Mm-hmm. So there's a process to everything.
So when you adapt to a process in that first thing, I don't know what I don't know. That's a great beginning block. Especially as adults, we know, I already know that. I already heard that. I already did that, right? But when you embrace that, wait a minute, I don't know what I don't know. And I love this here because I'm in some success school myself. And one of our leaders, he asked a question. I keep asking this question. He asked a question. He said, do you know why they sell $40 million jets? I mean, everybody was like, what? Well, he said, because people buy it. It's not really complicated. It's just people buying it. You're just not around the people who buy them. So I don't know what that's like. So I don't know what I don't know. And being in rooms that offer you to, you know what, man, I'm learning. And if we be an open sponge, we will embrace a process through a progress. And speak on that, sir.
Well, I know this. Everything rises and falls on leadership ability. And many people fail to value leadership because they don't recognize its importance. They think that it's for a few people, the people at the top of the ladder, right? But when we don't learn how to lead others, such as Marines, airmen, seamen, right? Soldiers, all of us that make up the Department of Defense, we have to lead so that we can lead the country by defending the country, right? And like, even if you're in school right now, if you take a look at the type of courses that are offered and you measure who takes leadership courses in college, right? Most take courses for their vocation, for their degree, for their occupation, right? Mm-hmm. Well, that's because only a few people think of themselves as leaders as they're going through, matriculating through the academic and scholastic system. So The problem is just unfortunate because as long as a person doesn't know what he doesn't know, he isn't going to grow. And so that comes through the law of process, and it's generated or achieved by a bias on being a leader like yourself.
I wish they had some schools like I'm in now, or maybe my mindset was like it is now. Because I'm just in. I'm always reading something. I'm always reading. I'm always empowering myself. And Frederick Douglass said this. If I don't want to mess up his quote, but what the content was that while he couldn't read as a slave, it didn't feel right. But when he could read as a free, as he started to learn how to read, he could found out that there was millions like him, which now blew his mind because he now knew what he didn't know. Man, let's take a quick break. I'm gonna bring you back on again. I'm gonna let you expound on that right there. We got DNA to grind up in the morning, man. You know we doing the thing right there, man.
Let's do it.
Man, go on and chew on some of that knowledge in there. It's a little bit of tips of knowledge, and there's 7 keys, in fact. We'll talk about
what you start. The law of process. Let's go.
The law of process. Stand by. And if you're out there and you think you're the only one going through something, you think you're the only one facing what you're facing. You got so much bad stuff going on in your life. Ooh, man, it just doesn't work. This doesn't happen. I get this kind of break. Nothing happens good for me. I wish I had my next door neighbor's rose bush. I wish I had my down the street neighbor's car. All those things. If you're thinking like that, I want you to think about your process of where you are and what you have. And I want you to think about where you're going with what you want to do. Because see, it's somebody that's looking over to the left and to the right, like, man, I wish I had what she has or what he had. Man, his wife or her husband or whatever that might be. Check this out. If you're thinking like that, somebody's trying to get what you have. You see, the man cried about having no shoes until he saw the man with no feet. Check this silent video out about how you just may be overlooking the blessings that somebody else wish they had. Stand by. Right back at it. Think about it. Somebody wish they had your car that you don't even want. That's a blessing. You don't want it. Somebody wish they had it. Mindset. Mr. Kelton Boss, I quit Alexander. There's some things that you see in process. You were just really breaking down some key points. The process of taking an idea, a business concept, whatever it might be, like in here, starting out. Well, how do you suggest that somebody just get started on the process towards whatever it is that they want in their life? Talk about that.
Well, the first thing I would say is, keep your mind in the gym. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, you got to understand that there is a law of process to it, right? And in your book, you say here, you said, in my effort to accomplish the things I have on my to-do task board, it must be written and looked at daily. Process daily, right? Success occurs daily, not in a day. But it all begins with the mindset to complete what I set out to do. You said success is accomplished in increments. Wow. You said when I had big frustrating tasks to accomplish, my father would always ask me, the great Roscoe, one of my greatest friends, how do you eat an elephant? Then he'd walk off knowing he'd already given me the answer. You eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? And let's think biblically speaking. God does things by process, as big as God is, right? And if we go to this one parable that Jesus talked about, he talked about the parable of the growing seed in Mark 4, verse 26. He said, and the kingdom of God is as if a man should scatter seed on the ground, KeJohnna, and should sleep by night and rise by day, just like we do. He said, and the seed that he planted in the ground should sprout and grow. He himself does not know how. So that's uncertainty. Well, he said scatter seed, not just throw, but scatter. So that means he scattered not just one seed, but many, right? He said, for, in other words, because in verse 28, the earth yields crops by itself. First, the blade, then the head, after that, the full grain in the head. But when the grain ripens, immediately he puts in the sickle because the harvest has come. So when we talk about process, when we talk about progress, right, we've got to understand that second phase. So the first phase was, I don't know what I don't know. Then we get to the second phase of growth, which is, I know that I need to know what I didn't know now, right? And then we get to that third phase from that, which is, I know what I didn't know before. And then we get to that fourth phase, which is, I know and I grow, and it starts to show. Just like God showed us in the law of progression, process is a part of progression.
Process is a part of progression. See, I love it when someone comes with biblical text, because I got some well-read biblical understanding. The scriptural, where you could go to the word right there, man. That's powerful. I appreciate it, because me, apply the level of the work you do to match the level of the faith you have.
Faith.
And if you applied all the level of the mustard seed that he said, I know that much. He said we had a mustard seed of faith. Now to him, to us that's small. But if this entire universe is small to him, whatever that is, right? But what if we apply like the whole mustard seed? Like, I'm gonna do everything I can to get what I'm telling you, people facing some stuff in the world, Kelton, seemingly insurmountable, catastrophic situations. Recovering from, it's all kind of stuff. It's stuff. It's all kind of life. It's all kind of stuff. The mindset. What kind of mindset is it that say, you know what? I don't care what it is. My son is under that burning car. I got to lift it up. Now, how they do that, I don't know. And neither do they. They just know that they had the why they had to do it. So we're gonna come on the other side. We're gonna talk about a quick thing about why we go through a process to progress to anything. How about? All right, stand by. Just a few shout outs right there, Mr. Kelton, boss. I quit Alexander. Oh, man, it's amazing to have you on standby there. All right. Now, think about this. You want to do something, but the minute you want to do something, there's something alternatively that does not want you to do it. That's some great beer stuff right there. Let's win. Stand by.
Success Express Marketing Solutions presents your virtual video podcast studio. Let the Success Express team help bring your podcasting dreams to life. Here's what we do. We help you come up with show ideas, design graphics for your show, set up your podcast studio, and run the back end of your show. So what do? Be ready for your show. Make sure your guests are ready. Log into the virtual studio, turn your cameras on, and go. Not sure you're ready to go live on a monthly or a weekly basis? You can get the Try Us Out Success Special. It's only $97 with free design setup. All you got to do is try us out, and I guarantee you're going to want more. So get set up today with your virtual video podcast studio from Success Express Marketing Solutions. So go online to Success Express MKTG, and we'll get you set up today. Sign up now and get our free ebook, Modern Podcasting, that'll teach you all the techniques you need to know to get your podcast started today.
Welcome to the Jazz Zone. Allow the Jazz Zone to make your next event enjoyable and entertaining. The Jazz Zone is great for private parties, weddings, festivals, fundraisers, grand openings, and corporate affairs. Move up to the next level of entertaining with the Jazz Zone. Check out our website at jazzzone.net. That's JAZZZONE.net. Or call the Jazz Zone at 626-798-6848.
Jazzabrations is unique in the fact that we honor jazz and blues legends over the age of 65 who have contributed more than 25 years to the industry. Our performances educate our families about legacy preservation and as we entertain our communities to have fun and to be educated about keeping the legacies alive.
Many of you have thought about it. Many of you have spoken about it. Some of you have acted on it. Now is the time to circulate wealth in the Black community, and we have the platform for it. Welcome to CirculateBlack.com. What's inside Circulate Black? A business directory, business social networking, an online marketplace, and business crowdfunding, all in one place right at your fingertips. Log on to CirculateBlack.com today and sign up for free. Let's all work together to circulate Black dollars among Black-owned businesses to build infrastructure and wealth in the Black community.
Super shout out to Little Sam Morgan there. Little Sam, you're amazing there with Jazz on Jazzabration. Appreciate you for all the work you do. Tireless work in our communities, making an impact through legacy musicians, keeping live jazz alive. Check them out at jazzonjazzabration.org. Amazing organization right there. Let's get Mr. Kelton, boss I quit, Alexander back on there. Let's talk about that process. People want to get something started. People want to do something. People are lost though too, and what to do, not knowing what you don't know. I mean, just how to get that first step going. What would you recommend? I know we got some principles and keys there, but what do you recommend for somebody to say, oh, you know what, I want to do something with my life, and I'm ready to get started. It's coming down to the end of the year, new year, resolutions. I don't deal with the resolution. But what about getting started? Talk about it.
Well, you know, getting started is all about momentum, right? Nobody would get on a plane that just moseyed down the runway because it wouldn't get up enough momentum to even get off the ground. As a matter of fact, it probably crash if it tried to get off the ground without enough momentum. It'd get up a little bit and crash. And that's what a lot of us do. And the reason why I think is because we don't have our priorities in order, or we don't operate by priority, right? So the guideline I use whenever I evaluate my priorities is known as the 3 R's, right? And in order to be effective, leaders must order their lives according to these 3 questions. The first R is what's required of me. Investors look at this type of stuff when they decide where they're going to put their money. What's required of my time, right? Because we're all accountable for the work that we do. As an employer, whether you're a board of directors, member, whether you're a stockholder, we also have responsibility for the important people in our lives, such as our spouse, our children, our parents. For that reason, any list of priorities must begin with what's required of my time, right? What must I do that nobody can or should do for me? So as you get older, or as you know, the priorities escalate, that list is going to get shorter. So in other words, if I'm doing something that's not necessary, I should eliminate it. If I'm doing something that's necessary but it's not required of me personally, I need to delegate it. A lot of people, especially hardcore DIYs, which I call do-it-yourself type of people, need to understand and recognize that nothing of significant value was ever accomplished by an individual alone. Now, the second R is what gives me the greatest return. So the first R is what's required of my time now. The second R I look at is what gives me the greatest return for my time. So if I'm doing something that can be done 80% as well by somebody else, then I'm going to delegate that. You know, I tell people all the time that these right here, you don't see no calluses on these hands, but there's many calluses on this brain. So anything that requires my hands, right, I'm going to delegate that who has better hands. So if there's a leak in the plumbing, guess who I'm going to call? I'm going to call the plumber, right? And then the third R, finally, is what gives me the greatest reward for my time, right? Because life is too short not to do some things that you love to do. There are many things that will catch my eye, but there are only few things that will catch my heart. Like I love teaching and leadership. I love writing and speaking like you do. I love spending time with the people I know, love, and care about. I love, you know, doing certain things, but no matter what else I do, I will make time for those things, right? They energize me. They keep me passionate, and passion, as you know, provides the fuel in a person's life to keep them going. So we have to recognize what our priorities are. And the Pareto principle, I'll close with this, right, says that your top 20% of your priorities produces 80% of your results. So you can look at this in a group dynamic. And if you ever go to a church picnic, well, 20% of the people that attend that picnic are going to eat 80% of the food, right? So if you take all the things that you need to do and you say, okay, let's see, there's 10 things I want to accomplish, or 5 things I want to accomplish, right, that are a priority to me, like losing weight, right, and setting more appointments. I'm speaking to me personally. Now, what is it that I need to do? What is losing weight going to do for me that's going to give me an 80% return on my efforts? What is setting more appointments going to do for me that's going to give me 80% return for my efforts? If you're a business person, what income generating activity is going to give you an 80% return from your efforts? And you put that at the top of your priorities list, even within your health. Well, what activities are going to give me an 80% return for me to lose 80 pounds? And those are the things that you do. So as we talk about process and we talk about progress, then those 3 R's, what's required of my time, what's the rate of return for my time, and what's the reward for my time? Back to you, sir.
Required, rate of return,
and reward.
The reward.
3 R's.
I think we're so focused on the reward that we can't embrace the process to the reward.
Yes,
We want to eat the food. We want to eat. Ooh, we want to eat that dessert. We want to eat right now. And I'm going to tell you something. If you want to go into business, you don't get to keep none. That's one of the first things.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
You want to go into business, you don't get to keep none. So you got to get it. It goes right back in. It's like a sponge.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Are you saying that leaders eat last?
Leaders eat last.
Wow.
Leaders.
No wonder there's a shortage.
We're gonna have another show, man. We're gonna do leaders. Actually, the table must be set like my family. If there's something, if there's a budget, if there's a minimal, I'm gonna push that to my family so that they have. I'm on a hunt. I'm back on the hunt. Make sure that my family and my team can eat first.
Right.
See the spillage, man. If you do a work based on applying the level of the work you do to match the level of the faith you have, you're gonna feed your team because you're knowing that it's the reciprocal balance is going to come back to you, man. Kelton, boss, I quit Alexander, man. I'm glad you had a chance to drop in. Hit me with a swoosh.
Look, man, I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm here every morning, so I'm here for you if you need me.
Man, you out there hitting
I'll be in the background just watching, but if you ever need me, I'm here. Let's go.
Give a shout out to whatever you need to mention.
Real quick. Yes,
sir.
We are getting ready at Juneteenth Education Technology Mobile Arts Center. We are totally excited about keeping the legacy of Dr. King alive, right? So you and me are going to be doing a workshop at our 23rd year Dr. Martin Luther King Unity Breakfast and Tribute on Monday, January 15th, 2024. Our executive director, Dr. Trudy Coleman, has been fighting for the process of freedom, justice, and equality, and has made Juneteenth a national federal paid holiday. So you can thank us for that, along with thousands and thousands of others across the country. So it's going to be at the Ontario Doubletree Hotel on Monday, January 15th. And I believe that it's a breakfast. It's going to be speakers. It's going to be people vending, sharing their wares and their products and their services in the conference room. There's going to be choirs. It's $45 for the breakfast because you're going to eat. You're going to be entertained. You're going to be able to network with people. We have VIP. We have tables. We have sponsorships for this event. We're looking for vendors right now. We have sponsors like Stater Brothers. We have sponsors like U.S. Bank, the Fontana Chamber of Commerce. I mean, so many people have made this an event for the past 22 years, and we're totally excited about keeping Dr. King's legacy alive because Dr. King was all about sacrifice. Dr. King sacrificed so much for us, and we operate in the spirit of Dr. King every day as leaders. And you are one of the great ones, KeJohnna. We appreciate you.
Oh, man. Be there or be square. Man, we get to share. Man, it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be off the chain.
Kelton, boss, I quit Alexander, man. Thanks for chiming in, tuning in today, stepping in, and your energy, man. I believe that when we capture the momentum early in the morning like this, it's inevitable that the rest of the day just catches on. So that's my DMO for the day. When I started this podcast, it was about I want to send a message that people could resonate with. Start their day off, feel encouraged, feel empowered, and supported. And I get to talk about businesses in the community, like the commercials that we get to show. And get to have individuals like yourself on to talk about the powerful projects and the process.
That's right.
It takes today, as our topic was. Man, embrace that process, embrace the progress, and pat yourself on the back every now and then about what you're doing. Man, thanks for having being on the show this morning, sir.
Appreciate you, sir.
Absolutely. Man, that's my man right there. Listen, if you're out there and you want to do something, get up. You're already up. And if you listen to this a little bit later, use what you have to achieve what you desire. Use what you have to achieve what you desire. Quick story. My dad, man, you know how you want the the number one glove or that Magic Johnson, basketball autograph, sign, that kind of stuff. Man, my dad throws something out there. He said, you better use what you have to achieve what you desire. My daddy. God bless. Have an amazing day on purpose. Use what you have to achieve what you desire. Progress is in the process. See you on the other side. Come on.